Time. Yo, guys, we're live.
Sweet.
Yes.
Hello, everybody.
Is everybody here?
I guess everyone is.
Is it?
I'm Rudy.
Yes.
That's Ryan. And that's Jimmy. Yeah, I see one person there.
Hey, this fella.
Hey, this one, Abang Handsome. Engkau ba? Steady, bro.
Siapa ni? Oh, Darren.
Engkau ba? Yeah. Mr. Darren Fay.
Handsome boys.
Handsome boy. You are the
Yes.
handsome boy.
Darren's got nice hair.
I saw not the profile picture. You saw the profile picture. He put there 3 handsome boy, and then his profile picture there like that. Fuh. Rambut mahal. Gaya 11. Uish. It's more. It's like if it's like Clio Men's Magazine, he'll be on it.
Anyway, I know I gathered three of us here because I've been getting a lot of questions from a lot of my friends, a lot of our fans, our band's fans. Asking a lot of questions on drumming. How do we practice? A lot of questions. So I've gathered these questions here tonight, and I thought that all of us can actually share what we do and how we do it. How we practice and whatever it is. So I've gathered these questions all, and we'll see how we can answer it, like whether it's formally or not formally. So the first one I got: how did you start drumming, man?
Ryan.
Let Ryan get this first.
Okay, how did I start drumming? Asian parentage, the first musical instrument you must learn is piano.
Piano.
Correct. And everyone who
Kinda
starts
true.
piano usually starts with electone. So I went through electone lessons.
Great what?
Oh man, I can't even remember. It was with a class full of like I think 20 other kids or something lah. And like you attend every week, you do well, you get sticker, and that book was so tebal because of all the 3D stickers. And so I did electron and then I did grades, piano grades lah. And I think I went up to grade 2 or grade 3. And what happened was I was learning in Yamaha Music in Bangsar. This is when Yamaha Music was in Lucky Gardens, not in Bangsar Village.
Okay.
And I remember this very clearly. I was in my piano room practicing next to the teacher sitting right beside me, and the drum room is right next door. So you can hear the sound, you can feel the vibrations on the wall and everything. And so in between playing my pieces, as my teacher would give me, Bernard Chin says, "Why echo so bad?" Oh no. Okay, so as I was playing my pieces and everything, I would tap my fingers on the piano according to whatever the student was playing in the drum room next door. So one day I was just tapping on the piano, and the drum teacher walks by, and those doors have like little windows that you can peek through. And the drum teacher looked inside, and he opened the door and said, "Hey, if you ever want to try drums, come check it out." So long story short, I tried drums and stopped piano. My first drum teacher, that guy who opened the door and asked me, I would later find out that he opened Paul's place. He was Paul Miller.
Oh, I see.
Wow.
Yeah, the
Damn.
science guy.
Yeah, man. I still remember Paul from Paul's place. And he had the fiber pearl drum set with the open front and it was so Phil Collins. So Phil Collins. But he's a cool guy, man. I mean, Tempered also played that. I mean, at his place for a long time. It was until he moved to Old Klang Road.
I didn't get the chance to go to the Old Klang Road one.
Old Klang Road, I played 1 time, 2 times.
Bernard says that he's still hearing some echo, but he says like the soundtrack. Just to make sure that we are okay, we try not to listen to look at the feed on Facebook or YouTube. Just shut it down. Then I'll run through the questions and then push it up on live lah. It's easier for us. Okay, I don't know why, but I don't hear any echoes lah from on my side.
Okay.
Jimmy. So how did you start?
Yeah, you go tembak this way. I wanted to tembak him. I I was like 6. Then my mom goes. Me and my mom goes to church most of the time. Boy, sorry, the cat is here. Boy. So anyway, we go to church, a young boy, and still about 6 years old, and every day you see the drummer there, and he was playing a Gretsch and vintage American Gretsch kit, all maple, and they were really good drummers. And like these old guys at that time, maybe 6 only. So one day, church had so from going through all this, from 0 to now, to 6, sorry. One day they had this gotong royong in church, and it was just my mom and her group of friends cleaning up the church. So upstairs they had a Max Stone instead of the main hall. Upstairs, small youth section, they had a Max Stone. So it's like, wow, it's a light color, it's a blue color Max Stone with pasty 2002s on it, and then it's really, really sharp stuff lah. So I've never tried it, so I just kept hearing it, So in my head, the thing I always hear is the straight beats, tat, tat, So I just sat on the drum set, then I tried to figure it out lah on my own, and I kind of got a bit, but there were moments where I kept it pretty straight, and then I dropped the stick, then I start giggling to myself. That feeling. It's the exact same feeling when you learn how to ride a bike. The first time you take the two-wheeler off, the extra wheels off, and you start balancing on the bike, and you're like, it's that same exact feeling. So it's that then you like, then that feel. Then it came from there lah. So at 6 I started playing that's drums, and then but those are like baby step drums, like then all the seniors will take, all the church boys will in secondary also it was the same thing, in secondary when it was like 14, 15, that time, then you have Hari Cikgu, right? All the Form 5 fellas were Butterfingers and nice stupid playground.
Wow. So the seniors,
intoxicated. The seniors, So that time I was already like playing with maybe JD or AJ or one of it, and doing like Christmas stuff. Yeah, JD is here. I played with JD before, long time ago. Hey, what's up, JD? When I was like a kid, man. Just like I don't know if he went into ICOM already or not. I remember it was Christmas stuff, 170 ringgit stuff for the whole bloody weekend. doing Christmas carols. I think that's where I met AJ and also Julian Chan.
Wow.
So that means that time I must be playing with them already lah.
Maybe you were jamming with them. I was just I was younger. I was just another like church friend kind of thing.
I have a very fond memory of you. The first time I saw you play, right? It was like everywhere. That's my fond memory of seeing you. That's Jimmy. And AJ said, he plays like that.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, at that age, right? I think now it's a bit slower lah. You kind of no, you know why or not? Because you go do all those things. It's not to say wrong. It's just like you're at that age, and it's like,
no, you did it because you could do it. You could do it, right? So like,
it was habitual. It was habitual. Then after that, you go through the whole journey and stuff. Then you learn a thing or two. to sound better lah.
My story is simple lah, bro. It's not like yours. Yours is like you started from age 6, bro. That's quite early.
No, you take it. If you take it officially, you take 15 lah. 15 lah. 15. Okay. Take it officially.
Ryan, you started when again? What age?
I was about 9 or 10, I think.
9. Okay. So mine
and
was
we
like
were in the same. We were in the same school, me and Ryan.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, and we were in the same college also. And then he was my senior. Ryan Baskaran,
yeah.
Yeah, and
mine
then
simple lah, bro. I just asked my dad, said, "Can you get me a drum set?" And then he bought it.
wow,
he just put it in the room, and then he bought it without my mom knowing.
Ooh.
So when the drum was delivered to the house, my mom gave that kind of look that you never expect that you will see in your life, lah. You know. Yeah. So
my mom hates me playing the drum till now. Anyway.
Yeah. Well,
she doesn't know. Yeah.
That's mom's lah, but I guess she grew to like it.
So you just ask for drum set and then you dapat
lah. Then
yes,
so dapat, but then that's because my dad also wanted to play.
That's why.
He used me as a reason.
Wow, Dad.
Yeah.
Nice one.
My brothers picked it up. Dino picked it up, and Andy picked it up, and they made their own band lah. Yeah. So that was one of the things that I can remember when we started off lah. You guys got formal music education?
When I first started,
the question just came up like that.
Yeah.
When I first started learning with Paul, he did teach me notation and like basic theory, but everything was I was 9, I was 10, I think, and everything was on a basic level. I had some understanding of theory because of my piano background, but I think, and this is in retrospect, I only realized this very much later in life, because I never wrote my own notes. It took me a lot longer to learn drum notation. Had he asked me to write my own notes, or had I been not malas and actually copied from his book, I would have reached my current level way sooner. Like, I think, like, when you learn to write your basic alphabet, you copy, like, you follow the outlines and everything.
Yeah.
And that's a standard process of learning. And I was 10. It didn't reflect in music then, like, I didn't bother writing down notes. I just left it to him to teach me everything.
Jimmy?
By the time I was already playing. Then I was already aiming, like at 15, okay, that's it lah, I want to do music lah, I don't want to play drums and stuff like that. Yeah. So I already was planning what am I going to do. So there was later on there was ICOM, music college, and then it's like, okay, maybe I should go there. But to get in, you need this grade, that grade. So at 15, 16, like that, around, I did all the grades in one go. So I did like 3, 5, and 7. So cool. 3, 5, and 7, and the guy who taught me was Maximo Celiano.
Hey, we share the same picture.
Yeah, Maxi. Uncle Maxi. So he's a
still around?
Guy. Yeah, he's still around. Great swing, man. He showed me the first swing. It was like, shit. Man, it's like, that's swing. Uncle Max.
Now
formal
education as well.
The formal education. So I just did it so that I could just get into college.
Prerequisite. So on my side,
you didn't do formal education, right?
I didn't have any formal music education. Everything was learned through VHS videos. Still remember, you have your zillion days.
No, wait. Back to when you first got the drum set.
Yeah.
Right. So how was the process? Were you banging on things first already, and then you slowly learn, or you already got the drum set, then only you watch videos and learn, or you could already somewhat play?
I remember before I got the drum set, I was every night at around 10 p.m. I was on the side of my bed,
The pillow thing lah.
just air drumming.
Okay.
But I remember the song that I was listening to a lot was like Smashing Pumpkins. So I was listening to it, then hearing
Same.
the ghost notes that they were playing. Then I was thinking, well, how the hell do I get the ghost notes? You'd be wondering, how do you do that? And you just start to see more videos and see how they do it. Then you start to find out, okay, ghost notes, grace notes, whatever lah. Then and that's where you start to go to clinics. And you start to learn, and then you start to play in bands. And when you play in a band, I really sucked. I played in my first band was a punk band, and after that, it went to
the whole family is a punk band.
Yeah, so it's a lot of like I think over the years you learn a bit here. There was one time where I went to Mahogany, wanted to get a lesson. I think this his teacher's name Kwa. He's in guitar store now. Kwa. Is it Kwa or what? And something like that. So and he said, okay, you want to learn drums? I said, yeah, I want to learn drums. And he said, okay, I need to assess you first. So I sat down for like a 10-minute assessment. As soon as it finished, then he woke up. Rudy, I think you better teach lah. You don't have to. I don't need to teach you. Can you teach my students? I said, what? I came here to learn. They said, no, you learn more when you teach. That's why I remember. And it was the Mahogany store in Bangsa, that whole row there. I don't know whether it was
dude, that's where I took lessons as well.
Oh, that's where I got my first drum set, right? CB percussion, right?
CB.
Oh my god!
I had to beg for that one.
How many hours did I practice? Okay, I practiced for like, I remember practicing for like I think 2 hours a day.
Wow!
I was quite consistent. Every day 2 hours. Eventually, you get there.
There's a saying that goes, if you spend 10,000 hours on anything, you're considered a professional. You will become a professional. Yeah. I think it was Malcolm Gladwell or something. Yeah.
But it was tough because we didn't have like soundproof rooms or whatever. It's just the drums in the room, and then when you play, the whole neighborhood can hear.
Yeah,
so,
correct.
Police cars would come actually, and there was one time the police car came, and asked us to stop playing at 7:00.
Oh, dude! A police car came to my house as well. So I didn't really used to practice, in all honesty, not 2 hours a day. I used to practice maybe 20 minutes, 40 minutes, and not even every day. Just
and then he's off to something else.
Yeah, exactly. And then go padang behind my house, play football or something. But I was thankful. I was lucky enough to have pretty good neighbors, except the one directly next to me. And so the husband used to get really, really upset at my playing. Yeah, the wife who was conducting tuition lessons, I wouldn't play during her lessons because my mom told me lah, don't kacau her tuition lessons. You can't do that. So I would play after a certain time when hopefully everyone was out for their walks and everything. But he used to go out of his way to get back at me. So let's say I'm playing at like 5:30 in the evening. Okay, I'm playing. After about 10-15 minutes of playing, I would hear a car horn, bang, bang, bang. And what he used to do was he used to get into his car and just hold down the horn, which is parked in his garage, which is right next to my house, in retaliation. And so like, as a kid, you feel a bit rebellious, but also a bit like, not nice, you're pissing someone off. So it was always that lah, like on some days, okay, I want to fight back, I want to practice some more. On the other days, shit, this guy is making noise, okay, never mind lah. But how many hours in a day? Definitely not 2 hours. I only used to do maybe about 20 to 40 minutes every other day, I think.
Jimmy?
I'm lazy now.
You're lazy. We're all lazy.
Now I'm definitely lazy. I'm down to like, if I practice now, it will be like not every day, but if I do get on a kit, then it will be 2 hours. But when I was younger, I didn't really count the hours. It's just like, man,
You understand? You just go lah.
whatever you wake up already, Janji no need to go school. Already you downstairs finding CD, putting, and then you just play through and you just play to the CDs every CD and repeat, and just keep playing until you forget, like, oh, it's lunchtime. After eat, then you go down, you go play outside, play football, this and that, play finish, you come back, gatal, you go downstairs, then you whack, boom, 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 and until the mother come lah. Mother will come, she'll come down. Because I used to live, if you talk about neighbors, right? I used to live in this place where it is it's a terrace house in Bangsa, and then like Medang Serai area. So
Hey,
it's two house. Yes, the 2 units share the same air well.
Yeah, right?
Okay, yeah, and then if one goes up, one goes down. They share the same air well. My drum is at the bottom of that air well. Okay, so it will go up and come up to the house, and the whole neighborhood will hear me playing drums. And then my mom would get so pissed. There's one time she got so pissed, she came down, right? She came, then she kicked my drum door open. Boom! Oi! People outside complaining, you play this drum, play this stupid drum. Then she kick. She kicked, then her slipper got stuck into the drum hole. And then she like on the fall. Then she pulled out her leg. Then both of us started laughing.
So cute.
She wants to angry, cannot angry.
Cannot angry.
That's like a Petronas ad lah.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
But when she came in, it was like, I was just playing and she loved to that. She still do that now when I make ad, and she'll come up behind and kacau me like, my speakers are on and I'm listening, and then she, oi, you don't know what time is it now? So it's that shock feeling, So yeah, that maybe younger time you just fly through. You don't even know 5 hours pass, 4 hours pass. You're just going at it. Then after you start playing, you play here, play there, and then you start to. You. It's not to say you reach a point where you are one hell of a. It's more you reach a point where you got license. Okay.
Yeah.
Now it's for you to drive the car properly. So your drumming reached this point. Your drumming reached this point where, yes, if I wanted to learn double pedal and I have to learn it, and there's a gig that requires me to play double pedal and stuff like that, I know that, I can play double pedal, but I know it's going to take me, 3 months every day there. And you can do it. It's just like, alamak, 3 months, then every day you want to do, you reach this point where whatever you listen to and whatever you want to get into is like that lah. But that's where we seek inspiration, things that drive us to push us. That's why I'm always playing with different bands. Still now I always play different bands.
Speaking of picking up double pedal, before we go into the next question, speaking of picking up double pedal, I have always wanted to master the art of double pedal ever since I got my first Mike Portnoy Dream Theater VCD, whatever.
Yeah.
And then you
Which one,
start listening to. This was when he still had long hair. He was still wearing like spandex singlets.
Was it the kit which had all the white setup time, or was it still the dual kick with the 3-tom only?
It was dual kick. It was dual kick with 3-tom, I think.
That time. Oh, that was really early.
And ever since then, I've always wanted to pick up the double pedal properly. And so I got myself a pair of double pedals, and like it was always in and out of it. And I suppose the one silver lining, or one of many silver linings of this time that we have been blessed with to stay at home because of the MCO, is I finally decided to sit my ass down and properly learn it, and I can go quite okay now.
Oh, that's good. You had exactly around like 3 months lah.
3 months. That's what you said.
Exactly 3 months. Yeah, no, I'm always amazed by double pedal players, and like I mean the stuff is okay, but it's those broken 16 notes kind of things which get me into it. But I don't play double. I wish I can play double, but I tipu play double.
3 months.
Okay, I'll try and do it. But I play double. I have a habit of playing doubles with my right leg, so it's a pretty good habit.
Jimmy, you said just now your set, what, CB percussion was your first kit?
Ooh, CB.
Yeah, CB was the first.
CB, yeah.
CB. Then after my second kit, which was that kit I wanted to, but I want to consider it my first kit was a per export. Double 22 per export drums, export series, double kick, 12, 7, 13, 14, 16, 18.
Very big,
Okay,
your first
and
kit.
all pasty symbol, 802, 402, 400 power ride, which I still play now, So, and yeah lah, I got it for a good offer lah.
What about you, Ryan?
But
my first was a laser.
Laser?
Drum kit. Yeah. So I believe Laser is a Taiwanese brand.
We all have to start somewhere,
yes,
lah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what
CB,
I
laser.
remember about it, CB is also Taiwanese, right?
Yeah, China, Taiwan, I'm not so sure. I think.
But Laser was one of those brands that, like I was young and I didn't know anything about drum brands, so I thought, okay, all drum sets are the same, and so I got a Laser kit from the advice of my then drummer, and then I was learning. This was way after. Was it? Oh no, this was when I was learning in Yamaha. So someone recommended that I get a Laser kit. The laser, the floater. Yeah. So until this day, I still have that kit, although some parts may have been converted, into a kick drum. That the 16 laser floor tom is now a kick drum. The actual bass drum I plan to convert into a coffee table with a slab of glass on it. The laser snare drum is actually what I'm using as an electronic triggered drum now, which is the steel shell.
You modded it together, right? Which
you're
actually talented too.
One thing
you
you
put
got,
everything together.
Whoever's in the audience, you all need to know this lah. Jimmy and Ryan are two people I know who can go DIY anything, they mod anything and make it superb. I caught your what's this episode on bands. How you DIY all the equipments and everything, whatever you had from home.
It's fine.
Cool,
necessity is the mother of all invention.
I think we started like when we started playing drums, but I think Ryan longer than that. He's like Mr. DIY man. I started because I got my hands on that time don't have ma. So only Jin had this trick custom throw off. That trick custom throw off, and he only had one, and he brought it back from the States. So I bought that trick custom throw off. I went back home. Then I was looking at what snare should I whack it on, and this and that. And that time I was using an Eric Singer snare.
Wow, cool, man.
Hey!
He used to be my tech, man. Did he tech for you guys?
Who, Ryan? No.
See, Jiva says you can use Remo silent strokes nowadays, so your neighbors won't murder you anymore.
Jiva! Wow, long time no see, way.
Yeah, man.
Now big time dentist already.
Wow.
How's the snare drum?
Correct. I remember he wanted to like sell it off. It was a really nice snare.
Yeah.
Rabin.
Yeah, so I drill it and I put the throw off on.
My first drum kit was a tabletop kit by Rabin. Yep.
My first drum kit was a tabletop kit. Correct.
Hey, Rabin,
Correct.
now you have an Elysis.
Yes.
Oh.
And in high school, yeah. In school, it would be.
Yeah.
Hey, and the bass drum sound very nice one because like sekolah menengah we had desks what in between is hollow, so poof, very nice one.
Yeah, in the center and then soft one. and if the desk no books underneath, nicer lah. See lah, we all never brought books anyway.
Okay, I got this question. What is your favorite rudiment?
Oh, one
Jesus.
of you go first.
If I'm not mistaken, there's 40 of them, right? It's 40 rudiments. Okay, I'll go first lah.
Favorite?
Well, it's not really my favorite, but it's like the one that I think is useful lah. I would say the paradiddle is the most useful around, apart from the 6-stroke rolls and the 5-stroke rolls. But I find the paradiddle you can do a lot of combinations, so I find that very useful. What about you, Ryan?
What is my favorite rudiment? I think the paradiddle is something like the double kick for me. It took me ages to want to learn it.
Right, left, right.
I think my current favorite is just a 6-stroke roll. So it's right, left. Right, left, right, left.
Yeah. So it's like paradiddle.
That's paradiddle.
Yeah.
So it's right, left, right, left.
Darren's got a question.
That's my current cymbal setup. You see those rubber pads, those rubber and plastic pads? Those are my current cymbal setup. Same, Rudy, same.
Yeah, man. Roland's.
Hey, Jimmy, your favorite rudiment?
Using a Roland cymbal.
My favorite rudiment is one of the paradiddles which I always use, which is actually just right, left, right, or left, right, left.
Whoa.
Oof.
Right, left, right. So when you take the last left away, then you're like playing triplets, right?
Yeah.
Right, left, right. So I wanted to play faster single stroke rolls. So you try and play right, left, right in right, left, right in 60 notes, and you try and count 4. So if you take it slow, it will be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So all the ones will move to all your different hands.
Wow, this is like
you just try. Yeah.
This
So
is like
you just try. It's kind of like it was like a habit lah. So if you try and do it, you just try and count 1, 2, 3, 4. But remember, it is right, left, right. Okay, right, left, right, and then you just continue it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3.
The one will move.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3.
Right. So you will see all the ones move at a different place. So and it was a habit to do it. That's why it sounds like 16 notes, but actually I'm playing very fast triplets and counting the ones at a different place. So you can actually drop your one anywhere, but you need to know how many cycles of that till you get to the next one.
So how do you count? You count in triplets or what? You count in triplets?
I play in triplets, but I count in 4.
1 triplet, 2 triplet,
Yeah.
3.
So this reminds me of
your hand.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah.
Hey, Diva's got a question now. Which drummer you feel has the best tone in Malaysia? Phew.
Oh, yo.
Zahid's got a pretty good tone.
I wanted to say that.
Zahid Ahmad, man. Abang Zahid.
Zahid's got a nice. Yeah.
Man, I don't know.
He would bring. It depends on what lah. I mean, it depends on what genres we're looking at. So I think Abang Zahid has a really nice tone.
If you're looking at his recordings or live recordings when he did with Zainal, right? Zainal Abidin, that one was power lah. It was so.
I also like. But Zahid was that range. Then there was Abang Tom's tone is really nice. You know, for a man of that build, he really when he plays rock lah in a rock setting, it will be the other drummers also. You know.
What about Louis?
Abang Tom Louis has a very nice, very fusionish tone.
Well, I can't remember the last time I saw Louis Pragasam live.
Stuck at this. Yeah. So it's very fusionish and then very, very Indian rhythmish influence.
Yeah, I realized that. Yeah.
You know, and then I like then like John Thomas. John Thomas also has a that fusionish kind of tone due to the playing and also the rebound of the skin. So you end up getting into that habit lah. Every drummer has his own habit, and that habit becomes your sound, and it's just to bring the best out of the sound out. So yeah, Zahid, Tom has a nice tone. Rudy has a nice punk snare tone. The three brothers have really big snare tones. Yeah. Rudy, Andy, Dino. These three fellas, those guys on stage with their vented snare, that time the craze for the vented snare.
Yeah. Dino acrylic snare.
Yeah. Dry and loud. Yeah. So
I had the Akira Jimbos.
Yeah.
I love
you see you see the tone choices where everyone has a
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, son. Hey, Darren asking you live cymbal setup because I know Jimmy has a weird setup.
What's weird? Everyone's weird now. Ryan got tambourines on his cymbals. People got tambourines on their hi-hats now. They got jingle bells on their rides.
Don't try to change the topic. What's your cymbal setup? What's your weird?
What's my weird cymbal setup? I don't have a weird cymbal setup.
Your sizzle one not.
You do though, Jimmy, because I remember once I saw you at La Bodega. I think you were playing with.
That setup.
Yeah, and it was very odd because you had a hat. I don't know if you had a ride, and in place of a crash, you had one bell.
That one though. That was like minimal. One of the minimum. That if there was a cymbal setup Darren talking about, it's like maybe when I play for like Priscilla, Dasha, or in a small setting, like in a small club or stuff, then I would use like 15. If I can get 15 hi-hats for my main hi-hats, I will use 15 hi-hats, and then with the bell, those jingles from BFSD, and then I will have another 16 hi-hat on a clamp.
As an auxiliary hi-hat.
Yeah, so I have two hi-hats in front of me. So I don't have toms, and I just have one floor tom and a snare drum and crash splashes around. But I moved setups a lot, I think, through the years. Like it was last time I used to play like 13 hi-hat, 14 hi-hat, 8, 10, 12, 16, 18 setup. Then you have 17, 18, and then 21, 22, right? Sometimes 24. And then you go on to like the bigger ones on the right. Then you don't need so much drums now. You play what is needed and what makes the music sound right. Then now it's more of like the essentials. You work with the essentials and you build on it. So the cymbal setup kind of changes. Like I want one hi-hat and I want another hi-hat, but I want close hi-hat sound, but I want two different close hi-hats now. You know what I mean? So for different sections of the songs, instead of straight away close hi-hat and then you open, or you have to move to the right. You don't have that center chick, then you slowly gradually build up your cymbal tone. So now I play, my main crash is a 20.
Yo.
My main crash is a 20. Next to it is 18, and then my rights are 20, 21s, and then big. I like to play big and thin.
It's almost like mine also. I'm using 18 and 20s usually. It's really nice already. Thanks, Jiva.
That was signature, old school rocker.
Hey, tiring way to play that beat.
Yeah, I know. Oh yeah. We both have to sit in for him one.
You both sat in for me, exactly. Thank you very much.
We had to work your sequencer at the back,
The AW, correct?
We should have to luck every show.
What JD said is like, this either it's hardware, right? So it either works or it doesn't. Software,
yes,
is why you lug it around.
But that was as secure as it gets, man. Hardware, we will never break down.
I mean, so far it has never failed me before. It has never failed me before. I can't remember all the time, but there was one, but that wasn't the sequencer's fault. It was totally no power. God. Can you imagine, like, you're playing, you listen to it, right? You're listening to the sequence itself, and it just shuts down. The band continues playing, and you're like, where are we? You just go on. Seriously.
But you have to wing it from there.
You have to wing it from there. I mean, they will look at you, you will look at them.
It's the sudden shock of not having the sequencer.
That's because I'm so used to playing according to the click and tempo, right? And it's sequenced. And if it's out, right, then okay, I'm not hearing it at all. I got to listen to the band. So it's halfway during a show, it just gives you some kind of disorientation, I know. Okay, here they said this question: drummers have a curse. We air drum everywhere. Sorry, there's some typo there. Even when we are not, we are possibly making beats in our head. Is this an urban legend or true story? It's a true story for me. I have a beat playing now.
I was just thinking about this. It's like we have our. Because drum is very physical anyway, it's not like it's here, it's physical. So
I guess I need a tattoo. Can I have a look at your tattoos, Ryan and Jimmy?
This is my favorite one.
I mean, I think
how to show?
Oh,
that's my
man.
So hard to show.
I'll do a henna here tomorrow.
Yeah. This is my favorite one. My one is like a Gojira.
You're so cute.
Gojira and my mukata pot.
Mukata pot.
What is that,
You can put mukata the steamboat. Then you can put prawns. You can put
mukata.
Yeah.
Very good. You can see it.
Wait. Yeah, back to the air drumming thing. So we are making beats in our heads, and we air drum because we are going through them on the drum set we have set up. So we tend to practice it or create it because it's muscle memory. So drumming deals a lot with muscle memory and how fast your brains tell your hands to react when you want to create something. So we tend to do that. So drumming, I guess, is the ability to do that like that, to get your brain and your hands together where immediately you think, so
it's all muscle memory. It's like you practice.
Air drumming helps.
You practice so that your muscle remembers the pattern, and then after a while it just comes like that. There's no latency, or like from your brain telling you to move your right hand.
Yeah.
Move your hand,
Yeah.
That's why practice is important.
And sometimes when we create beats, right, we are working out the movement because you know the toms are here and all, but you want to know how many stroke it takes, so you want to know where you want to land, So, like for example, this air drumming would help in terms of you have this long one feel going, and you need to know the crash is going to land on which hand. Some people tend to just, when they play drums, then it's just they crash with one hand.
Yeah.
And it was a habit, one hand thing. So in the end, then you start to realize, hey, how come I don't crash with my left hand? So when you start, it's like, hey, this kind of things, right? So you start to learn and you start to air drum, you start turn. Oh, I might as well end with my left. It's more comfortable instead of and you come back from the tom. It's like ridiculous. Yeah. So it's true story.
I think I make it a conscious effort not to air drum, and instead I just play on my thigh. Like even when I have drumsticks in my hands. And I don't have a drum kit in front of me.
Yeah.
I play so much on my thigh that I think I've developed like an extra layer of fat or something to cushion the blows.
It's already a snare.
I used to hit my shoe or I hit my thigh until it's like red, and then you don't know that you're hitting that hard, and then you're like, oh my god. Yeah, it's a true story. Oh wow.
Oh, Jimmy, this is a question for you.
You don't put me in this position. Wow. Ryan.
Okay. My answer to that is whichever sounds nice, whichever sounds suitable for the gig you're playing. Okay, so I'm a firm believer of the sound guy, and I believe like he or she, the sound guy or sound woman, is in charge of your whole damn show. So regardless of what cymbals or what drums you're using, it's up to that one person to make you sound good or make you sound crap. So like, okay, you can do whatever you want to ensure that you get the best cymbal tones or the appropriate sounds for your gig, but it's up to that one person if they want to make you sound good or not. So it depends on the size of the gig and everything else, but
it's all up to Anthony lah.
It's all that guy. It's all Anthony. But it's true that it's easier for the person mixing if you're using a dark cymbal to brighten it up than if you're using a bright cymbal to darken it down.
That in terms of this would answer the question, Darren, for the traditional versus brilliant versus dry lah. But he doesn't want to go back to the top there, which is Sabian versus Zildjian versus Manor or versus Pasty. Because I also don't want to answer. So, but yes, what Ryan said was to answer traditional versus brilliant. Yes, correct. That's on the dot. It suits the music.
I think my go-to is traditional lah.
Okay, a Sabian traditional, a Zildjian traditional, a Manor traditional, or Pasty traditional.
I would say it's between a Zildjian traditional and a minor traditional. I don't think I've ever tried what is a Pasty traditional?
Pasty traditional would
the giant
be like Formula 602 or have you tried the signatures? Like
no, never.
Those are nice. Dry hats and stuff like that. Yeah, back to headliner.
Hey, headliner
Wow.
7K for my first symbol set.
Hey, headliner red color or blue color?
Red. 7K, okay? 7K symbol set.
You know, there is no like brilliant, dry, master custom, this and that. It's just headliner, red color or blue color.
Do they have like a high grade headliner?
Yeah, the high grade was the 7K.
Okay.
So it was kind of like the pasty 302, 502s, and 802s. The 302s were your 3K, the 502s were your 5K,
Yeah.
the 802s were your 7K.
Yeah.
I
But
actually love
302s,
the 7Ks.
they had the hi-hat had a certain sound last time if you get the right one. You know?
I guess also during recording in your studios, right? Different cymbals will bring in different flavor, so you use it according to the song suitability lah.
Yeah,
Correct.
That's right. So I mean, for me,
Correct.
I've been using a lot of Sabians and Zildjians. I've pasties, yes, but I've never used Manuel before. I don't really have a favorite, but I think if you ask frequency of use, I've used Zildjian the most. So, yeah.
I have mix and matches, man. It's everything that, especially when you talk about recording, when this one I used to tag for him, sir.
His tone is good, man.
This one big and fat. Big, fat, medium, low. I know. Because I set up for him.
Fat Boys record.
Yeah. So yeah, symbol choices would be very very subjective now for us. It's like we tend to now know like, oh, this gig, okay, this one, this song. We tend to know what symbol we want to use. Last time it was just pick and go only. Solar is state.
So solar is
Hamka.
dry of the driest of the driest.
I got a question here.
Yes, I know.
Oh.
Buying the exact set of drums I was looking for during MCO is really difficult. Drums were always sold out during the MCO. Are we going to see a wave of new drummers or just a lot of second-hand drums for sale?
Both. Rabin, I will support you and I will go for both. I won't pick neither because one is always to have more drummers around. Two, you don't want the drum you sell here. So win-win.
Oh, that's very interesting though.
Now, but there's a lot of drums now in stock.
No, I remember because Rabin was.
I think during MCO everything was out, man. I think drums was everywhere. Guitars, bass, everybody
was actually trying to get like a few Elysis brands, but they were totally out. Okay, so they settled for a bit higher grade one. But I think it was the choice. The popular ones were like, I can't remember which model it was, but it was
you should get a Roland.
I asked him to go for a Roland.
No, I mean you don't have to get
like
so high end lah.
Sleek.
Whoa, I'm lagging.
Yeah, lagging.
Yeah.
He liked the Elysis look, the sleek black look.
Yeah.
And I guess everyone's going on. One of the questions I wanted to ask also was like, electronic drums. A lot of drummers are actually going electric nowadays. So, are they missing out?
Yes.
No.
Whoa!
Of course, they're missing out, right? If they start off with an electric, right, you miss out the rawness,
I mean, in that term, is it? Okay, I was on a different wave. I was on a different wavelength. I was on a like in terms of like people are going electric nowadays. So if you don't jump on, are you missing out? That kind of thing. Yeah. Okay. No, if it's
right.
We came.
That's where I was coming from as well. I agree with you, Jimmy.
We
You
came
know?
in during the hybrid times, meaning like where there was acoustic, and then products were coming out with a lot of electronic functions, like your Yamahas and Rolands. They have the pads and everything. So
Yes.
see, that time a lot were going hybrid, but now the sets are really good enough for live performances. But I guess in Malaysia, a lot of people living in condos nowadays, right? So they can't get an acoustic set, so they go for electric sets. But what I can say is, like, are they missing out? Yeah, you're missing out on the loudness,
then definitely.
the rawness, the feel you get when you hit the snare and the hi-hat.
It's different. It is different from you hitting like this, and then the sound is ta.
Yeah.
And actually hitting a real kit and because if you hit that on a real kit, it's dish there. And you have to learn how to make it go ta. And that is like that,
True.
So if you're talking about missing out, from that terms, but if we are talking from a technology thing, if it's good to jump on it, and it's good to infuse it to your kids and stuff like that.
I mean,
it's a good thing to look at.
I have an electric at home. I have a Roland at home, so that helps me.
You just need to influence some analog drums.
Yes.
In your house.
Correct.
I feel like it depends what stage of your drumming you're at. If you're still a learner, if you're still a student and you're pretty fresh in learning the drums, you're not losing out at all by getting an electronic kit, because I think the hardest part of the drums, like you said earlier, Jimmy, is the muscle memory bit of it. And it's the repetition, it's the constant movement, it's the what do you call it? It's the same thing that can be done on an acoustic kit. So for I think for your formative years, getting the tone and learning how the instrument works with your playing isn't as important as actually learning the basics of the instrument.
Foundation.
The foundation. I think it's only later in your learning of the instrument, and it depends on the individual as well, whether he or she chooses to take an interest in the way the instrument reacts with that individual being the person who's learning. Because
it's also the wave and energy, when that
exactly
sound, the sound you make when you're playing drums.
Exactly. And a lot of people, like, it's different for different people. Like some people actually dive in straight and like they want to tinker around with things and they want to understand how their stroke is different from someone else's stroke. And for a lot of other people, they just want to play the drums, in which case I don't think they're missing out at all, because there's so much you can do with an electronic kit that you can't do with an acoustic kit, and vice versa, of course.
It's just what now the electronic drum is to provide a solution. And that if you have an electronic drum, do try and because you got your playing down already, on the electronic drum, do get yourself or try and get some time on an acoustic drum. Then you will learn your dynamics and how much you have to hit, and suddenly you realize, okay, I'm not sounding like the electronic drum. I'm all over the place. So it's good to spend some time on both ends.
The biggest difference when you transition from an electronic kit to an acoustic kit, the biggest difference that I've noticed is that people who have played more electronic kit for most of their lives and then transition to an acoustic kit tend to choke up a lot more, and not choke up in their playing, choke up the drums and the cymbals. So they hammer it on and they stay there instead of letting it breathe. And all their hits are, because when you play with an electronic kit, it improves your accuracy, yes, but also you have to hit it a certain way in order for the electronics to react in a certain way, and that's not the same on an acoustic drum set at all.
Exactly right. Honestly speaking, all my life I've been playing acoustic drums, and when I went on the Rolands, it took me a year to relearn how to play it, because your hi-hats is not as sensitive as your traditional hi-hats, right? So it's a certain way and certain zones that it will trigger the sound, and I had to relearn to play it. So it took me a year to figure it out. And I think answering your question, Darren, this is a very good question. Do you think e-kits will replace live kits, seeing now that you can route it to VSTs like Superior Drummer? So I'm using Superior Drummer, right? And it has fantastic sounds. I can tell you that you just put it on your headphones, you can hear exactly like a real sound. But the feel of the hits itself, it's totally different. It's not to say less impactful or whatever, but it's just a different thing. It's a different tool. I use it to record my drum covers and record songs because I'm on Fiverr, so I have clients coming out from overseas and they ask me to record drums. Superior Drummer sounds like the real thing, so they don't any different. So that's the tool I use it for. But live, of course, I'm just going to use the acoustic sets. Rabin has another question here. Another thing that I realized with the electric drum is that there is such as a thing as a drum amp and drum headphones.
Also very important.
You got to use either one or both. And those small drum amps, it's not really going to really
amplify. I would rather go headphones.
Yeah, headphones.
Yeah, I'll go headphones.
Okay, man. Maybe I just go on with one last question before we
Why?
go
How
off.
many questions do we have?
This one is like like the most important question.
Is it the last question? Hey, okay.
If you play Pop Shuvit music, yes.
Yeah. And you only burn calories certain areas.
Correct.
Are you sure? It's cardio, bro.
Only certain
It's
areas.
cardio, but this is gonna stay.
Your stomach's gonna be there. Your face is gonna be there.
This one, the chin.
Double chin, all will be there. but you have really nice forearms.
Correct. You'll have
nice
great looking forearms.
You have good shoulders. Your calves. Everybody jealous of your calves because it's nice and shaped like papaya, young papaya hanging on the tree.
Never skip leg day.
For a Pop Shuvit show, a half an hour Pop Shuvit show, you can lose around 500 calories, lah. I think easily. This is like half a meal. Not too bad, lah.
That's a quarter of a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
So it can help you burn calories if you play hard, but certain areas no lah, because like your butt, you still need to do your squats.
I feel like the common misconception is that drumming is a workout, and therefore you can forgo a workout. But in actual fact, you need to work out to maintain your drumming health.
Yeah,
it's true.
Because I used to do that, but I like okay lah, drumming lah, no need. I already play 1.5 hours. No need lah, workout same only.
Okay, guys. Before we end, there's something that I want to announce.
No.
Yes, we're gonna announce this. So we want to do a drum solo contest. All right. So we have a prize. It's a Pearl 3D cajon. Is that how you pronounce it? Cajon, right?
Yeah, cajon.
So it's going to be signed by 3 of us. This contest is going to start on the 15th of July. All the information is going to be up on the Facebook site with all the submission process, the terms and conditions. We found there. So what we are looking for is a 30-second drum solo. However way you want to record it, we don't really care. As long as you send in something within 30 seconds, if you can send it in before the 1st September, so we have a look at it and we'll do reaction videos on all the videos that has been sent in, and from there we'll pick and see the one that we feel deserves the prize. Okay, this is open up to Malaysians and of all ages. So I think this is something interesting that I've actually wanted to see. I wanted to see some of the new talents out there coming onto our platform and then doing some solos, and we react to it and then we give a good price of this. So this will be up on the Facebook site by tomorrow.